Hi, in this video, we are going to look at what is MathBuddy and how it can help you learn and practice math in a fun, gamified way. You would have received your username and password from your school. So, in case you have not received your username and password from your school, just talk to your math teacher and you'll be able to get your username and password. To access MathBuddy, you need to just open up Google Chrome browser and type mathbuddyonline.com. Right, once you type mathbuddyonline.com, you'll be taken to this website. Alternatively, you can also download our Android mobile app. So if you scroll down all the way to mathbuddyonline.com, at the bottom you'll see the link to the page on Google Play from where you can download the mobile app. Right. So in this video, we're going to be focusing on the website. So with the username and password that you received from the school, you can click on the login button on the top right corner. So just click on the login button. So you enter your username that you received from the school and the password in the password box, and you click on login. Right? When you do that, you'll be logged into MathBuddy, and the very first thing that the system will ask you is to set your goal. In MathBuddy, you can set a daily goal. So, what could be a goal? I want to practice 10 math questions every day, or 15 math questions, 20 math questions. And if you achieve your goal on a particular day, you will get 20 additional coins. If you set your daily goal to be 30, and if you reach 30 questions, then you will get 30 additional coins that day, right? For now, I'm going to set my daily goal to be 15, and then I click on the next button, right? Now I'm logged into MathBuddy, right? So it also says you can now create a parent account to receive weekly emails and other important updates. So for doing that, you need to go into the profile settings page. So we'll see that a little later. For now, I'm going to come into this front page. So this is the main page from where you will be able to play with the activities in MathBuddy, right? So the very first thing that you need to do is to select a topic. So just click on select, and these are all the active topics. So these are all topics that are activated by the teacher, right? So you can choose any of these topics. Let's say I want to practice number system and place value. So we call each of these small things as a skill, right? Or basically these are subtopics, right? So I want to practice number system and place value. And when you come back here and notice one more thing here, there are two tabs, active and inactive, right? So these topics the teacher has not activated yet, right? So in case you are seeing very few topics in the active tab and lot more topics in the inactive tab, just go and talk to your math teacher and ask her to activate these topics. Teachers will typically activate whenever they are teaching these particular topics. Okay, so now since we selected number system and place value, it became the current topic. Okay, see this, you can change this anytime. You can click on change and you can change to any other topic anytime. So you can choose any of the topics that your teacher has activated. Now, within number system and place value, we have all these skills, right? So the first skill is numbers up to 4 digits. Then you have place value up to 4 digits, standard and expanded form up to 4 digits, comparison of numbers, ordering of numbers. So these are all called skills. And we want you to master all these skills during this year, right? So the entire curriculum for MathBuddy for this is grade 3, right? I'm logged in as a third standard student. So for grade 3, we have split into very small learning skills, and each of these skills has got activities, it's got adaptive practice, it's got mental math, and we want you to master these things over this whole year. So let's look at the first skill, numbers up to 4 digits. So it has got four components. First is called learn. So learn is where there are interactive activities. Sometimes your teacher might be using these in the classroom to get you to participate, and then you can also access these at home. So what are these interactive activities? So let's click on the first interactive activity, representing numbers using place value blocks. When you click on play now, it's going to bring up the activity, right? So these are fun activities which help you practice different things in math. How do you represent the number 4232? So 4232 has got 4000s, 200s, 3 tens, and 2 1s. You need to just represent it using these blocks. So I need to select 4000s, then I need 200s, then I need 3 tens, and 2 1s. Click on check, it will say whether it's right or wrong.
You are very good at that.
When you do reset, another question will come. So infinite number of questions will keep coming up, and you can keep representing, right? Now if you want to know what you are supposed to do with this particular activity, you can just click on this question mark button. So if you click on the question mark in any of the activities, it will give you step by step help. So read the question carefully. Next, click on the blocks corresponding to each place value to represent the given number. So in this case, 1312, there is 1000 blocks. I need to click on that and it becomes like this, right? What is the next step? Next step is to click on the check button. Then you click on the reset button. So step by step help is there. If you need to know what you are supposed to do with any particular activity, you can just click on the question mark and see what you are supposed to do. If you like any of these activities, you can just click on this thumbs up and give a thumbs up to this activity. It just helps us understand which activities students really like to do, right? So these are interactive activities. So if I click on this, again, it will be a different activity. Here, some place value blocks will be shown. You need to identify the number. So what number is being represented here? There is 1000s, 500s, 3 tens, and 4 1s. So this should be 1534. I click on check to say that it's correct.
Wow, good job.
When I do research, some
Proceed.
other question will come. So infinite number of questions will keep coming. So all these things under learn, or sometimes you'll see it as explore, right? So these are activities. Then we have something called adaptive practice. So you see this button called master. So this is where you will be able to master the different types of questions that could be asked for the skill, right? So, with adaptive practice, the first stage is called mastering, where we will give you various questions, and based on you are answering all the types of questions, the system keeps track of where you are having difficulty. And after that, whenever you practice this particular skill, it'll give you your own personalized set of questions. So, if I click on master, it's going to give me some questions now. 4769. So 4769 is this one, right? So for doing that, I'll collect a coin. I collected one coin and I'm on a streak of one correct answer. On the top left corner, you can see the streak, right? Top right corner is where your coins are shown, 9276. So that should be that. And since I got two questions continuously correct of that type, the next type of question it comes up, right? So here a number is being shown. I need to select which is the correct option in this. 1480. So 1845. So that should be this one, right? So for every correct answer, I'm collecting coin and my streak is also growing, right? 2013. So that should be that. So next one is something where we are identifying how many thousands, how many hundreds, how many tens, and how many ones are there. So here there are 5,000s. I need to drag this and place it here. Then there are 600s. So that goes here. I don't have any tens, right? You don't see any tens blocks there. So that should be 0. And then I have 6 1s, right? I click on, oops, I made a mistake. What mistake did I do? 5,000, 600s, 0 tens, and 7 1s. I made a mistake here. Okay, so when I make a mistake, it always gives me a hint, right? So it gives me a hint. Count the number of large cubes to get the number of thousands. Count the number of flats to get the number of hundreds. So based on this hint, you can try to do it correctly. What you can also notice is that my streak went down to 0. So when I make a mistake, my streak goes down to 0. So the correct answer should be, I can just click on this, get it out, and drag this 7 1s. If I do that, to say that is correct, right? I'll still collect my coin, but my streak has come down to 1 now. And since I made a mistake, I need to answer two more questions continuously correct of this type to move on to the next type of question. So this should be 4,000s. Then I have 800s. Then I have three tens and one ones. Right? So if I do this correctly, then it will give me a coin. And again, the next question comes up, right? This is basically 1,000s. Then I have 700s, four tens, and five ones. And since I got two questions continuously correct of this type, next type of question comes up where I need to answer the question directly, right? So this is how we keep answering questions. As I keep answering, this bar will keep going up, right? So as we move forward, one more than 3, 5, there will be some word problems also towards the end. One more than this is same as, that should be 3,529. One more than this should be same as 6,511. So that's the last question. I've gone through all the questions and it says that I have mastered this particular skill. Right? There's a celebration music and it tells me that I got 96% in that particular skill as I mastered it. There are four things that happen. One is the longest speech. I got a lot of speech of 90, but basically I collected a badge. I also reached my goal for the day, so I collected 15 additional points. I also mastered a skill, 90% accuracy, so that I collect points. And lastly, I collect XPs. Okay, so what are these XPs? Right, so normally we used to basically count the number of correct answers that a student gets in a particular day, and we have various awards, right? Some of you who have been using MathBuddy will know that last year we had a badge which was based on questions answered. Now, this year, what we have done is we have changed that to XPs. What are these XPs? XPs are basically you collect XPs based on how many questions that you answer. But if you keep doing the same skill again and again, the number of XPs that you collect from that skill will keep going down. Right? You need to do a variety of skills every day if you want to collect a lot of XPs. Okay, so it is basically the very first time that you play with adaptive practice, you will collect as many XPs as the number of questions that you got correct. And the second time also it's the same. You will collect as many XPs as the number of questions that you got correct. But from the third time, the number of XPs you collect will become half of the number of coins that you collected, and this keeps going half and half and half. So you the number will become very very less if you keep playing with the same activity. Okay, so just make sure that every day you play with as many different skills as possible. Okay, that way you can maximize the XPs that you collect. Okay, okay, now since I've mastered this particular skill, you can see that this has a thumbs up icon. It means I've completed this, and since I've completed this skill is opened up. This is still not available to me, right? But this skill has opened up. Once I finish this will open up, and so on, right? Now let's look at what I can do with the skill that I've already mastered. So numbers up to 4 digits. I did the learn activities. I've also gone through the mastery phase. Now, after I finish the mastery phase, I can practice the skill any number of times. All I have to do is just click on practice, and every time it's going to give me 10 questions which are personalized for me. These 10 questions are different for each and every student, right? If I make a mistake in a particular type of question, there will be more of those type of questions for me. Okay, so this is adaptive practice. Then there is something called mental math. Mental math is for developing speed in answering questions. So how does mental math work? So there are various levels in mental math. I need to finish the first level to get to the second level. If I finish the second level, I'll get to the third level, and so on. So if I click on the first level, it's time for mental math. The overall high score for this level is 26. Okay, within 1 minute, somebody has got 26 coins. So your job would be to beat that. So if I click on start, Now there will be a 1 minute timer running, and I need to answer as many questions as possible. 7,249. So 7,249. 3,520. So that's here. 4,396. This is where the mobile app really comes in handy because you can just click with your finger. Again, if you make a mistake here, your streak will go down to zero. 7,814, 9,174, 3,618, 1,903. Here, 2,978. The numbers are given to be a little confusing, so you need to be very careful. 9,586. That 5,093. So that's 1,934. 9,426. So I collected 13 coins. Wow, somebody got 26. They must be really good. So again, you can do this lot easier if you download the Android mobile app and do it on the mobile, because you can just click with your fingers, right? Instead of moving your mouse and doing things, it'll be a lot faster. Now I have completed this level. What do I mean by completing this level? Within 1 minute, you need to collect at least 10 coins, or you need to answer at least 10 questions correctly to say that you have finished this level. And once you finish this level, the next level opens up, right? The other two levels are still locked. Once I finish the second level, the third level will open up. The other thing is, in level 1 I see 3 stars. It means I got all the questions correct, right? So if I make one mistake, I lose 1 star. If I make two mistakes, I lose 2 stars, and so on, right? You can make maximum of two mistakes. If you make more than two mistakes, it will ask you to do it again, right? So this is about mental math. Again, my streak. So I keep getting newer and newer badges based on my streak. I have a streak of 32 correct answers now. So for that, I collect additional 100 coins. Okay. So and the last thing in this particular skill is something called smart sheet. Smart sheets are interactive worksheets. So here again, you will see various questions. You can do the smart sheet. The reason why it's called smart sheet is you will get immediate response. Immediately, it will tell you whether you've done it correctly or not. So 7,520. So that should be that. If I click on check, it will say whether it's right or wrong, right? That's absolutely correct. Go on to the next question, right? So these questions are basically interactive um, worksheet based questions. These questions come from a database. So every time you take it, it's going to be the same question, right? Unlike adaptive practice and mental math, where the questions are generated on the fly. So, and now that you have mastered this particular thing, you can start mastering this and so on. Okay. And anytime once you finish this, you can always change your topic by clicking on the change thing. Okay. Now, one thing very important, there is something called daily challenge. So, daily challenge in MathBuddy, the purpose of this is it gives you daily practice with all the skills that you have practiced so far in MathBuddy. Right now I have done only one skill, so if I take the daily challenge right now, all the questions will come from the skill, right? But with daily challenge, the system gives you 5 questions every day. Make sure you do these 5 questions every day. Each day it will be a different set of 5 questions, and these will be from a mixture of topics that you have practiced. So as a student, whatever skills you have practiced, these questions will come only from those questions, right? But it's very important that you do it, because that way you're getting continuous practice with all the skills that you have practiced. Otherwise, sometimes you learn something in the month of June and then you'll forget it by the time you reach December. Math is all about practice. So take daily challenge every day, and that way you don't have to struggle before your exams. Okay. Now, as you work with MathBuddy, you get various awards. So there are virtual badges. So there are badges in each of these categories. Daily streak. So if you take daily challenge for 3 days in a row, you get this particular badge. And level 0. Right now I'm in level 0. I'll get to level 1 in this badge. Right. So if I come back tomorrow, if I take it today, and if I come back tomorrow and day after, that will be 3 days in a row. And I'll get the first level of daily streak badge. Once I get to level 1, it will say come back for 5 days in a row to get to level 2, and so on, right? Longest streak, right? I am already in level 2 since I got 32 questions continuously correct. If I want to get to level 3, I need to answer only 3 more questions, right? So initially it will be very slow progression. So you'll get to level 3, then to get to level 4, it will say just answer 20 more questions continuously correct, and so on. So this is something very, very interesting. Try to get to as high a level as possible. Mental math badge, again, if you master 2 more mental math levels, you'll get to next level in this badge. Perfect skill, if you master one more skill without making mistakes, you'll get this particular badge, right? Now in addition to that, we conduct a competition within each and every classroom. So in your school, right, in your school, in your classroom, every quarter, right now we are in July to September quarter, we are on July 5th. So from July 1st up to September 30th, the student who has collected most number of XPs. So I just spoke about what XPs are. You can collect XPs by answering as many questions as possible every day, but make sure that you're doing it from multiple skills, not from the same skills. If you do it from the same skill, you'll the number of XPs that you collect will go lesser and lesser, right? In order to collect maximum XPs every day, try to play with as many different skills as possible. So for every one of these, there are minimum qualification criteria. So over this entire quarter, which is 90 days, you need to collect a minimum of 1000 XPs to qualify for this badge. Skills mastered, you need to master at least 12 skills during this quarter, that is from July 1st to September 30th. So during these 90 days, make sure you collect at least, you master at least 12 skills, then you will qualify for this badge. And if you come first in your class in this category, so you can go through the different categories, see who is leading in your classroom at any point of time. Right now I have only one student in this classroom, so that's why you're seeing the same student. But in your school, in your classroom, you'll see many, many students who are working with MathBuddy and their name shows up there. And make sure that you are also competing. So once we get done with July to September quarter, again we'll have the next round of competition from October 1st to December 31st. Then another round of competition from January 1st to March 31st. And each and every quarter, the student who collects maximum number of XPs will get a physical badge. The student who has mastered most number of skills during this quarter will get a physical badge. The student who's achieved most number of goals, so if you achieve goals for maximum number of days, you will again get a badge. And daily challenge, the student who's taken most number of daily challenges during this quarter gets a physical badge. And we send these badges to the school after the quarter is over. So for July to September quarter, we'll be sending these badges in the month of October. So try to compete and come on top in your classroom. In addition to this, if you master all the skills in MathBuddy during this year, right? So for example, in third grade there may be around 60 to 70 skills. So during this year, if you master all the skills in MathBuddy, you will get a physical certificate. So many students got this certificate last year, and it'll be wonderful if each and every one of you masters all the skills in MathBuddy and get these certificates. Ultimately, it's going to help you, right? By practicing math, you will do wonderfully well in your exams, school exams also, right? Then from this year, we are starting something called Best Usage Classroom Trophy. So if you are in, let's say, class 3A in your school, whatever classroom you are in, right? Try to encourage all your friends to practice with MathBuddy. The classroom which has the broadest usage, the classroom where maximum percentage of students, maximum number of students are using MathBuddy during this quarter, and who have collected maximum XPs, the classroom which has collected maximum XPs with broadest usage will get the best usage classroom trophy every quarter. So for July to September quarter, we want to see which classroom in your school has the broadest and maximum usage. So make sure that your classroom gets that trophy this quarter. Lastly, the math teacher that is handling this particular classroom, which gets the broadest usage, will also get an award. So make sure that your math teacher gets this award every quarter. Okay, so math buddy is something which is very very interesting. You have lots of awards, you have lots of badges that you can collect, and ultimately it is something that will help you practice math in a fun gamified way, right? Last thing that I wanted to show you is the profile part of it. So if you click on profile, you see some basic information, how much time you've spent so far, what your name is, which grade you are in, what's your accuracy, how many coins you have collected, how many skills you have mastered, and all that. You can click on this gear icon to change your password. So if you want to change your password, just click on this, set a new password, right? You can type in anything. It should be at least 6 characters long. Whatever password you're typing in here, you need to type in the same thing here and then click on save. Okay. Make sure you don't forget the password. Whatever you are changing to, please write it down, because in case you forget your password, then you will need to approach your teacher to reset your password. You can ask your math teacher to reset your password from their account, right? Or in case you are not able to approach your math teacher, send a mail to support@mathbuddyonline.com, clearly telling your name, school, and your username, so that we can reset your password and send you a new password. Okay, so that is about changing password. You can also change your daily goal. So as if you remember, we set a daily goal when we created the account. You can always change this from your profile. Okay, I want to do 20 math questions every day, just do that. Okay, you can also change your avatar from here. So all these avatars are possible. Right now my avatar is this, I want to be a cheetah, so I can do that. Just click on that and your avatar becomes cheetah. Okay, then there is something called parent account. So if you remember, when we logged in, it said you can create your parent account to get weekly updates. So your parent can create an account. What is the advantage of this? Every week on Sunday, we send a report to the parents about how many questions you have answered, how many skills you have mastered, all that, so that parents can also keep track of how you are doing. So if a parent wants to create an account, they can just click on this, type in their name, email, and password, or they can just connect their Google account to this, right? So both of these are possible. You can also link a parent account. So if you created a parent account, and if you already created a parent account linked to another student account, let's say that your parent created an account for your brother, and the same account needs to be used for you, then you can just type in the email that has to be linked, right? You type in the Gmail account for your parent and that will get linked. So both you and your brother, or you and your sister, can use the same parent accounts. From the parent account, both of you can access, if it has to be done from a parent account, right? I wanted to talk about two very important things, very important questions that we usually get from students. So, one is, I've been practicing with MathBuddy for quite some time today, but my name still does not show up on the leaderboard. Right, my leaderboard status has not changed. Okay, this is because this leaderboard gets updated after 24 hours. So this you can see, today is 7th of July, but it's still showing leaderboard as of 5th of July, right? So just be patient, just wait for a day or two and your leaderboard will get updated, right? So we generate these reports every day at a certain time, and since we have students from all over the world, we do it at a particular time when all the countries have that day completed. Okay, that is the reason why there is a delay in calculation of these things. So just be patient with this. Second thing is the reports part of it, right? Sometimes we get questions saying that I've practiced a lot of math questions today, but still I see only zeros here. Okay, make sure you see this. This is a weekly report. Okay, this weekly report gets generated only on Sundays. Okay, this weekly summary is for the time period from June 28th to July 4th. Okay, so we send out weekly emails to the parents who have opted to receive the reports. So they will get emails showing the total time spent, questions answered, how many daily challenges taken. So exactly the same page goes in the form of an email, and this is sent once a week on Sundays, and that is what you are seeing here. So this does not get updated every day, it gets updated only once a week, and you'll be able to see the report for the previous week from this page, right? But you can always access topic wise reports once you start practicing. Like for example, we worked on numbers up to 4 digits, right? So if you want, you can click on details, and you can see how many questions you answered, what your accuracy is for adaptive practice. You can also see how many questions you answered, what your accuracy is for mental math, and how much time you spent. So this gets updated as soon as you finish, right? But the weekly report part of it gets updated only once on Sundays, and the leaderboard, there is a delay of a day, right? So if I want to see the report as of today, I will need to wait till tomorrow night or sometimes day after, right? So just be aware of that. But none of your efforts, none of your coins will get lost. So this is what Math Buddy is all about, and we want each and every one of you to collect as many badges as possible, each and every one of you to get these certificates at the end of the year, and also get trophies for your classroom during this year. So have a wonderful time practicing math.